Hi everyone. In the previous video we talked about Sony's first portable console, the PSP. This time I'm going to show you its follow-up, the PS Vita. The PS Vita was launched in 2011. What Sony did was basically take the PSP blueprint and improve it in several key areas. The design is very reminiscent of the PSP. So on this side you have the 4 directional buttons. On this one you have the PlayStation buttons. And this time around you have 2 analog sticks. Again, they're not like the DualShock ones. They don't have a lot of travel, but compared to the one that was present on the PSP, they do feel great. They're very soft. There's not a lot of travel, but they're not as stiff. And this time around, they're actually a bit roundish on top. So your fingers actually sit more comfortably on them. You also have a PlayStation button, which allows you to come back to the main menu and other stuff. A select and start button. On top, you have a power button, the volume buttons, 2 triggers to left and right. You have the game card slot, which I'll come back in a second. You have another port here to connect 2 Vitas, for example. On the bottom, you have a USB plus charging port, which is a bit annoying because you can't really use a regular mini USB cable on this. So if you lose the cable, you'll have to buy a new one. A headphone jack, and of course the memory card slot, which is an annoying one because it uses proprietary, if I can open it, proprietary Sony cards, Sony PS Vita, Sony branded, this time micro SD, but yeah, so not all were compatible with the PS Vita. I don't know if I can put it back again. It's spring-loaded like the PSP. So yeah, it has also I forgot also on the back a camera. It was used. You could use it as a photo camera, but the resolution is not very good. Or it could be used for AR type games. And you have a touchpad. This touchpad which has a cool PlayStation motif on it with the PlayStation symbols. You could use this touchpad in some games for example, if you want to pinch to zoom on certain stuff, or I don't know, push things aside. So you use both hands or fingers, and you do like this, and it would push stuff. There's not a lot of games that use this, unfortunately, and at the end I think it was more of a gimmick than anything else, but yeah. You also have a webcam here, so you could actually do video calls on this. Yeah, but the resolution is also not very good, but yeah, it's a games console. Let's turn it on. Compared to the PSP, this one turns on almost instantly. What's inside, spec-wise, compares to a phone of 2011, 2010, 2011, So if you had an Android phone at the time, it compares to a phone of that era. I think the GPU inside is an Ardeno GPU. So basically, what was used by Qualcomm mobile CPUs at the time. So let's turn it on. The screen, it's a big improvement. So it's bigger. The pixel density is way, as you can see, way up there. And it's an OLED affair. It's also touchscreen this time around. So you can see the viewing angles are really great. And the colors pop. There's still glare. You can still see my hand. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of glare. And playing this outside is a bit difficult, but the brightness goes to a good level. It doesn't look so dull, and colors really pop on this. I've mentioned it on the PSP video. For the PS Vita, I'm sorry, Sony changed their UI design. They adopted this scrolling menu with some round button type or button-like icons. It's a question of preference, but yeah, I prefer the one on the PSP, which actually is visible on the content manager, if I'm not mistaken. If I can, kind of, yeah, no. There you go. They made it because they made it like this, I think, because it's to show off the touch screen capabilities. So you can actually, instead of you can't even use the directional buttons or the analog sticks to move around. You have to go to the touchscreen with your finger, which will basically smudge your screen. It's a very fingerprint magnet, this screen, but yeah, whatever. So how it worked is that you swipe your games and apps reside on this scrolling screen. And for some stuff, like you could, for example, if you type settings, if you go to the settings menu, there's some stuff that roll horizontally through the screen, and then when you want to go back to the main menu, you press the PlayStation button, and if you want to close the app, that's actually pretty neat. You take the little fold here, it's like a piece of paper. You take the little fold here, and then you do it like this. You fold it down. It's gimmicky. It's cool nonetheless. And then, yeah, you had, like the PSP, several applications. You could actually use it as a portable Walkman. You could watch some videos that you saved on your memory card. You could do a remote play, connecting it to the PlayStation 3. The settings, well, we've seen that. And yeah, you had other stuff, like you could link it to the PlayStation 4. This didn't come as standard when this launched, because the PlayStation 4 launched in 2013, so it actually was made available on an update when the PlayStation 4 launched. You have several other apps. You could set up your emails on it, parental controls if you have little kids, calendar. You had also access to the PlayStation Store, which closed recently, actually. You could see your trophies, because on this one, Sony actually made available trophies for PS Vita games, which they intended to do for the PSP, but they abandoned the idea at the time. You have a browser here, which is, I'll click on it just to show you. I haven't connected it to my Wi-Fi, which resembles the one on the PSP. It's usable. It's not, you could have favorites and stuff, you could have tabs and stuff, but it's not the most, more than 3 tabs actually. The PSP was limited to 3. This one you can have way more. It's not terrible. Yeah, it's in a pinch, that's fine, but yeah, preferable to use it on your mobile phone or computer. The PS Vita allowed you to actually do game sessions while with the possibility of communicating with your friends via the party application. Near, I spoke about it a little bit on the previous video for the PSP. This basically is the successor to Spot. You would click on it and you would see what players, what PS Vita owners were near you. Of course, it won't connect because I don't have Wi-Fi, but it would show you which ones lived in your vicinity, and you could engage with them in online playing. I'll actually show in another video with the Wi-Fi connected. I'll try to see if these services still work. I have my doubts. Yeah, you could have a contact list with friends, send messages, take photos. Actually, I'll be honest with you, I never did a lot of stuff with it. Let's see, it's my face. Yeah, it's using the camera, and if I think I could turn it, yeah, the other way around. Okay, it's not terribly bad. It's the same as the phones from that time. It's okay. I wouldn't expect you to take pictures with this because I mean, it's a games console, but it's there. It's usable. You saw that this camera was okay-ish too for video calls. Yeah. So now I'm gonna fire up a game. Oh yeah. Before I do, I didn't spoke a lot about it, but I mentioned there's a game card slot. The Vita for this console, if I can open it, for this console, what Sony did, they basically scrapped the UMD. First of all, because the format, the mini disc format, tanked, and second of all, the prices for and the capacities for SD cards went up and the prices went down. So they basically saw that they could hold as much or more game data on a small card like this. So they scrapped the UMD drive, which was a good thing because less movable parts means that there's less stuff to break. And so they adopted this. If you have a Switch, it resembles, it predates the Switch cards, but they basically look the same. These are proprietary, so they resemble SD cards, but they're proprietary. And yeah, that means that loading games on this is way faster too. There's no noise. You saw that on the previous video. I had difficulties with the UMD of Ridge Racers, which wouldn't load. This avoids this, of course. If you bend the SD card, you can break it or something. But this basically allows for avoids damaging the game. The UMD was very scratch sensitive too, and because there's no drive, there's less possibility of this breaking than a full-fledged UMD drive with a motor and a laser and stuff. Yeah, so let's give it a go. Let's give it a run. I'm gonna fire up Rayman, which I absolutely love as a game. Yeah, hold on. Didn't I? Yeah, Rayman. So I did put the game in. I was talking wonders about the SD card, and now okay, now I think it's because I removed it. Yeah, the console is very light. Battery wise, with the screen on full brightness, yeah, you can expect 4 hours tops of battery life. Which is okay. The first Switch had also 4 hours or so of battery life. Yeah, so you see, I've played a lot. You see that the resolution is way higher than the PSP. Okay, there's a difference in age too in the technologies, but on this one, Sony did really a good job of giving it a really good screen. What you have to know is that the OLED screen on the PS Vita is only available on the first version of the PS Vita. On the following revisions, Sony cheaped out a little bit and removed the OLED screen and put an LCD on it. It's fine. The colors aren't as punchy. The viewing angles are a little bit less. They're not great, and the overall quality, yeah, it falls a bit, which is a shame. So this is the first version of the PS Vita. I got it when it came out in 2011 here in Europe. I didn't import it this time. Yeah. So I'm gonna play a little bit. Yeah. It's not the beginning of the game whatsoever, because it's really I played it a lot. It's a great game though. I always enjoyed Rayman on all consoles. It's a beautiful game. The sound quality on this is actually very good. It has stereo speakers. It's not terribly high. You can go high on this, but it's not, as the PSP, it's not deep sounding device, but it doesn't need to be. You'll normally use this with headphones. So I'm gonna show off other games too. Then I bought a lot more games for this one than for the PSP, I'll be honest. The sound effects on this game are are really fun. Yeah? There you go. Oh my god. Yeah. So yeah, this was just to show you. So when I want to basically quit the game, I press the PlayStation button, and then, like I showed you before, up. There you go. You have also a notification area where you see 2016, quite a while, where you can see the latest notifications for games. If you have connected it to the internet, you receive notifications of updates and stuff. Up until recently, this console received updates. It's unfortunate that Sony just they abandoned it quite quickly. So this console didn't enjoy the same popularity or support than the PSP. And that's, for me, that's really unfortunate, because it's a very good quality console, and it could have been right now probably a PS Vita 2 in the place that the Switch is, because if you look at it, it had a link to the PS4 and the PS3. If Sony would have launched a dock, which I think they did, but it was really marginal, the distribution, a dock where you could put the PS Vita like this and connect it to your TV like you do with the Switch. This, and with better support from Sony and the editors, I think this would have been a real success, and would have been up there with the Switch. But yeah, Sony for some reason didn't think that it was worth it. It's a real shame. And so since then, they haven't ventured anymore in this kind of with a portable console, leaving Nintendo all alone in that space. I'm gonna try now another game, Luminis. You might know it. I really do enjoy puzzle games. If you scroll through the channel, you probably came across a quick play for Tetris Effect for the PlayStation 5, which is one of my favorite games for it. It blends. Yeah, it didn't read. Yeah. Sometimes, unfortunately, it. Okay. It probably read it now. No. Right. So. There you go. Probably. Sometimes this console had this quirk whereby for some reason it didn't read the cards. The updates didn't actually make it better. I think there's a delay somewhere, whereby you have to wait until the OS picks up that you have put a. Yeah. So let's try like this. Maybe. No, it doesn't want. Yeah, I was here. Let me see. Yeah, no, it seems okay. Yeah, it's like on the PSP video. I'm not. It seems like I'm not very lucky. No, I've clicked somewhere. I didn't have to. Okay, let's give it a go again, shall we? Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't want me to play Luminous. Why? Is it because I spoke about Tetris and you didn't like? Okay, let me see if like this maybe. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna restart the console. Actually, I'm a bit stubborn on this because it didn't power off. Okay, the UI is okay. Oh, come on. Right, so yeah, it crashed. Okay, all right, here we go. Yeah, this wasn't one of the reasons why this tanked actually. Yeah, just to be clear, it tanked. I think, in my opinion, it came out in a period of time where people were more and more inclined to play games or casual games on their mobile phones. Remember 2011, there was a big boom of Android phones. You had also the iPhone 4, and you could play most of the game editors launched games, portable versions of their games on those phones. So this basically had the same specs of a phone, which you could consider it's a phone in console format. But yeah, I think people were too focused on the mobile phone scene to notice this, and the fact that Sony didn't actually support this as they should didn't help either. I'll be honest with you, here in Europe, marketing-wise, the PSP was there was a lot of marketing for the PSP, but for the PS Vita, yeah. So there you go. It's like a PC. You have to restart to get it working. Sorry about that. It wasn't supposed to do that, but yeah, it's a bug. So yeah, Luminous. This game sold quite well on the PSP and on the PS Vita. This is an enhanced version of the one that came out on the PSP years prior. There's a lot of glare. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's normal. No, that's normal. Electronic Symphony. There you go. You see touch screen. So again, they really emphasized the touchscreen on most of the games. They really emphasized the fact that the Vita had a touchscreen. Begin voyage. The future of the future. There you go. Unfortunately, the Vita didn't have a good future. Yeah, but oh well. There you go. That's Luminous. That's it. I don't know if you don't know it. Again, I will probably at some point do some quick play or even full play of this. Just stay tuned to the channel. I'll probably do also first a play of Rayman Origins. What do you think? Think it's worth it? There you go. You see that the sound is pretty good on this. It's really, really, really nice. It's a nice console, although my heart is always on the PSP because it felt more substantial. I would say, I'm probably going to be hated by saying this, but it feels like an iPhone. When you hold it in your hands, it feels quality, it feels premium. It feels that you paid what you paid, and you have the quality for it. The PSP is the same. You paid, at the time I paid close to 500 euros because of the markup of the import fees and stuff. It was expensive. The console launched for 249 or 299 euros and $249, which isn't cheap either, but you could feel the quality. This one launched for a similar price. I didn't pay for 500 euros for it. I think I paid 250, and it is quality, but it's yeah, it's not the same. It feels durable though, and there you go. That's Luminous for you. You can use the touchscreen on several games like this to choose options and stuff. One thing I want to add, and it's a fun fact, is that in Japan, although here in Europe and probably in the US too, support was quickly dropped for this. In Japan, there were still games coming out up until I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago. A lot of JRPGs, which this console became known for, also shooters and indie games. There were a lot of indie games for this. Sony encouraged, and I'm gonna actually close Luminous and show you. Sony encouraged indie developers to develop games for this. One of them, which probably you know of, is Fez, which is also which had controversies with its creator, but this was a big indie game in 2010. So it was ported to the PSP Vita. It was also ported to other systems, but mainly I played it mainly here. But there were others. It's in Portuguese, okay. So yeah, there was a lot of indie games you could actually buy on the PlayStation Store and play on this, which was great because portable and stuff. So there you go, Fez. I really like this game. It's just to show you how it worked. Really, really great game. Very on this screen, very beautiful because of its use of primary colors that pop quite a lot. Sound-wise also good, and there we go. I really suck at this, and you could move with the triggers and stuff. Yeah, just to show you that indie games were also available on this. You could download demos, which is the case here. Download this, which is Final Fantasy. So you see that the loading of the games is quite quick. It's not PlayStation 5 quick, but it's quick. So yeah, there you go, the PS Vita. So I'm going to put some facts at the end of this video, like the specs and stuff, which I haven't spoke a lot about during this video, but and some fun facts about this. But again, this was for me, it's a great console. It still is a great console. Although it came out 11 years ago, still a great, most notably the first version with the OLED screen. If you're looking for one second-hand, yeah, look for one with the OLED screen, one in good condition with the OLED screen. There's a lot of great games for it. I bought myself Luminous that I show you, Rayman Origins. I had also Touch My Katamari, which sounds a little bit dirty. Little Big Planet. Remember this one when this came out? Great stuff. Yeah, I had a couple of games like this, plus Fez, which I downloaded it. So yeah, so if you're looking for one of these, yeah, just look for the first version, which has the better screen. And yeah, you can find some cheap games on eBay or yeah, or some stores, some second-hand stores. There's quite a lot of them here in Europe, probably in the US too. So yeah, so don't forget to subscribe. I will continue on the next video. I will show you something that something interesting. Sony launched at the same time as the PSP, or a little bit a little bit way after, launched a phone with PlayStation controls, but I'll show you that on the next video. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a like, a thumbs up, and to subscribe. And of course, if you have any comments, or if you want to continue the discussion, I would like to know if you have a PSP, a PS Vita, sorry, if you had one, if you're planning on buying one secondhand, which games you like most on it. So please, on the comments below, don't hesitate. And of course, I'm open to suggestions on how to improve these videos. I'm fairly new to this. Thank you very much for being there on this long video. I hope you liked it. See you next time.